Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Welcome.
How's it supposed to feel?
Cracking tune to start the stream, guys. Hope you're doing well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show on. Alright, let's just turn that music down a little bit before I forget on YouTube. Let's get going, guys. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where you are around the world. Welcome all, one and all, both on TikTok and YouTube. Appreciate you all for joining. Guys, before getting away, make sure to smash that like button on YouTube. Sorry, TikTok, you guys smash that screen for me. And once again, what do you know? Have a look at this, gold yet again at a all-time high, just keeps on keeping on. So as always, we will have to look at both gold and GJ. For me, a little liquidity grab candle at the moment. Not interested in counter trend trading it, but interesting to see anyway if this does eventuate to some sort of pullback prior to what we could potentially look pull back for us to potentially look for further buy options. Anyway, guys, as mentioned before, smash the like button, YouTube, TikTok, hit the screen. And if you have charts, questions, any pairs you'd like me to go over, feel free to send those in and I'll get to those shortly once I've done the analysis. Let's have a look at the news to begin. And in regards to our session here today, nothing scheduled, so pretty smooth sailing. It is a big week though, guys. Massive week. We've got ADP to come. Tomorrow we've also got manufacturing PMI, JOLTS openings as well. It's a big week with NFP to finish, round off the week on that Friday. Also, unemployment claims is going to be another big thing to look forward to. So more of US news this week, something to keep an eye on. Gold making that move just now. So once again, great to see the liquidity counters doing their thing. You've learned about this on this stream, this price action pattern. Guarantee this is where you learn about it. Probably wouldn't have heard about it prior to watching my streams. And look at it make the move down now. So anyway, guys, let's get underway and let's have a look at, as always, as we do, let's start with the gold, the beast that is the gold. And obviously starting that weekly time frame, once again, we are just flat out bullish. Really strong bullish candle here on a weekly. Again, no sign of any exhaustion at the moment. We are printing with volume. We are printing strong body bullish candles. And at this stage, we are very strong bullish on a weekly candle. So based on that, what I'm likely to do is look down to more sort of 30-minute, but also the 4-hour. See what previous levels we have within this candle itself. And those levels become potential entry points for the buyers upon the pullback. And if we have a catalyst such as the 30-minute structure flipping bearish, they could also provide a potential entry point on a potential deeper pullback for some sell options. Onto the daily time frame once again. We are just straight bullish, very strong bullish. Structure is bullish. What we're going to do is mark in the daily low though, and also the high. Let's see if we do have any sort of structure flip or anything on the minor time frame below the daily low. So we do have that higher high, higher low to that previous candle. Really not much of a need for us to pull back and break our own low. We were to continue bullish. Doesn't mean we can't do it and still not continue bullish, but if we do so, perhaps we could get involved in also some sell options in anticipation of a deeper correction. Prior to that, we definitely need to wait for the right confirmation if we're looking for any very risky sell options. On to the 4 hour. Something I'll make mention of shortly, guys, as well, once we go down to M30, but the 4 hour also trending very bullish. Good thing about the 4 hour, we could argue it would technically flip back bearish below 3100 psychological round number. So we don't have to go all that far to actually flip the 4 hour structure bearish. We're about to confirm some resistance in 5.5 minutes on the 4 hour. So obviously we're trading within the range, ran at 3110 to the highs at 3150. Now onto the M30. Now just marking the resistance. And what I wanted to mention was had quite a trend that's been it's been obvious for me for the past 3 days, where you've had pretty much most of the fun stuff happens during the Asian session. The impulse comes during the Asian session. You had it here today around the open, prior to the consolidation. Sorry, after the consolidation, price made a nice clean impulse up. Exact same thing here on Monday around the Asian open. Bit of consolidation, a little bit of a pullback, price continued bullish. At the same thing over here on Friday as well. So for the most part during the London session, gold has been a little bit choppy price action wise. Hasn't been as straightforward as perhaps the Asian session. New York NY session has also made a few impulses, but not as often as what Asian session has over the past few days. It's just something I've noticed also the past week or so. But anyway, so let's just see now the 30-minute, that daily low, we do have a potential catalyst below it. If we close below that point there, we are going to flip the 30-minute structure bearish. Therefore, we may have some options to sell it sooner rather than later. Let's just see if we can adjust these zones slightly. Just adjust it to that point there for the time being. Could be some potential sell options upon the confirmation of the structure flipping bearish. So the first thing I want to see is definitely at least minimum the 30-minute structure flipping bearish. So closure below on M30 to confirm a structure flip on that time frame. At that point there, that is when I would start to consider my options for a sell. Once again, guys, you've learned about this candle pattern formation on this stream, and look at it once again. It definitely would have got you the chocolates, would have got you 100 pips by now, just based off simple price action. You broke the high of the previous candle, you had a higher low, higher high. Absolutely no need to pull back and break your own low if you want to continue bullish. Therefore, if you do pull back, break your own low, break the low of that previous candle, what that likely suggests to me is we'll just grab liquidity from that resistance, which was the daily high, in order to make a deeper pullback. Move done. Anyway, good to see, even if you're not in it. So right now for me on gold, I'm definitely just waiting to see where this pullback stops, and the cleaner, the deeper, the better, because what that does is provide us some more clean options on the way back up, and clear and more margin as well. Sorry, is what I was trying to say. So definitely be considering the buys from the pullback, guys. Doesn't necessarily need to come all the way back down to this 31.22, but once again, the deeper the pullback, the better. So if we form that high low anywhere within, and I get the right confirmation within price action, I will contemplate looking for my buys from really above that level where the 30-minute structure flips back bearish. And even if it flips bearish later on into today, I would still contemplate sells of a buy, sorry, obviously from lower down. Seeing the bias is still technically going to be bullish on gold. Now further options, if price does pop up back to the all-time high, what I'd like to see is a closure that has to be above the highs. Seeing we've got, that is the highest point of any 30-minute or 15-minute candle at the resistance, so therefore we need to close or pop back above 31.49 for continuation options. Preferably look for closures above, but I may consider an impulse entry just depending on the approach. So that is my interpretation of gold, what I'd be looking for. Hopefully it does make sense. If it did, make sure to smash that screen, TikTok and YouTube. You guys hit the like button for me. And let's now turn our attention to GJ, which looks to be in some pretty strong consolidation. So on scan that weekly, long upper wick, weak bullish. We have approached the low, but so far respected the low. Let's just mark in the high of the current weekly candle, see what we've got above that level, and let's move on to the daily. So weak bullish on the weekly. Daily structure remains bullish. We've tapped into the last significant higher low and left the long lower wick. We were to begin to break above the previous daily candle's high, and I feel there's a high probability we could pull back deeper in line with the structure and potentially retest the highs of the previous weekly candle. So bullish on the daily, respecting support. 4 hour. 4 hours a little bit tells us a slightly different story here, because the 4 hour is bearish and it's actually respecting a previous support as resistance at the moment. So there you go. So that previous support on gold, no, on gold, on the daily, so fixated on gold at the moment, is actually at a level of, also let's pull back to the level of resistance on the 4 hour. So definitely above that previous daily count high, because we can see on the 4 hour as well, much cleaner for options to look for the buys. Below the support, potentially in GJ, likely we have some more levels here to the left. That's the current 4 hour range. Anyway, let's go into the 30. And the way I see it, the 30-minute structure is still technically bearish, and at this rate still won't change until back above 195.30 roughly. Fair way off. So based on that, my bias on GJ is still to the upside. However, doesn't mean I wouldn't contemplate sells with the 30-minute structure being bearish. First things first, let's look at the buy options. If we were to pop above the resistance here on the 4 hour, break above that previous daily counter's high, if you're looking for a nice closure above it, retest continuation, and that could be an option to look for our buys on GJ. Now, further options, if price did pop down, respect the support around that daily low, approach the current daily candles low and respect support, then once again I'll just be looking to buy low, trade the range, waiting for the right confirmation to do so. Now for the sell options, guys, now let's have a look what we want to see for the sells. Well, first of all, if we did pull back, even briefly breaking the daily high at a previous daily high, only to pop back below and respect the resistance, and I'd obviously be more than willing to look for a sell option, as long as we do have the clean traffic, so if the move to the upside is relatively clean and reject, and that would be a nice option to look for the sells from higher up. Let's quickly go onto the 15. Let's see if we got any margin below. First of all, let's mark in support on the 30, and have we got margin below it? It's the most recent support formed within current daily candle. To the left of it, we've got some pretty clean traffic for around 20 pips on the M30. The M15, we're going to incorporate that low. So let's just quickly measure it. Is there going to be potential sell options down? Well, maybe. All depends on the margin. So presently we've got about 15 pips. So it just depends. If I'm waiting for the closure below, can't afford for it to eat too much into the margin down to next support here at 193.250. But I would nonetheless consider my options to sell it from below that point there. Any further options, guys, will all depend on our price action signals. If we do get a nice signal from the current support respecting that level, then I would not be opposed to looking for the buy options on GJ. Remembering the daily close of a long low wick, if we respect support formed within the current daily, head back up to the 2 hour and high, there's a good chance we will retest the high of that previous daily and begin to potentially push above that 194 flat. So buys above the support is also another thing I'll be looking for. Again, bear in mind, just going to make sure we have the margin to do so from the current level. Seeing a big buying it towards the top half of the 4 hour range. I'll have to wait and see if we have the margin. So that is both the GJ and the gold, guys. Hopefully it did make sense. And let's have a good one. Been a cracking few weeks. It was a really good March. Got a nice trade yesterday on gold. For those who had the patience to stick around, I know a lot dropped off after a while, but I always say stick around to the end because you never know what happens. Gold, what a move. All right, guys, thank you for that sticker. Soul Forge AI, welcome to you. Say good day to TikTok chat, surely. Thank you to all new followers. YouTube, you guys, appreciate those of you on stream right now. Carl, good morning to you. Tony Gold, as always. Barman, appreciate it, mate, every time. Reminding the team to give the stream a like. Franco, good morning to you, mate. Only 7 likes YouTube, that's just not good enough. So let's get that like count up. TikTok, over, g'day to you. Once again, thank you to all the new followers. Ben Taylor, gold by now, if that's what you think. I mean, it's in a big uptrend, so you got that on your side. TikTok, all new gold will connect only to last high from yesterday. Maybe, who knows, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow we'll need to be careful when we get the news. Yeah, obviously with high impact news about slow 5.7, when you think we'll cover that daily gap. What gap are we talking about? I just see clean candles. There's no gap there. If you're referring to pulling back to retest this resistance, who knows? Don't have a crystal ball to be able to tell you that, to be honest, mate. But yeah, just clean traffic, nice volume to the upside in a massive uptrend. Franco, more into you, mate. Blum, TX, can you check NQ? I will check it shortly. Marquez 92 is very slow down, number 2. Not sure what that's to do with. Anyway, welcome. I appreciate you being on stream again. Get up said. No, not funded. No, this is personal funds, live personal account. Okay, good night to you. Yeah, so no, not funded. Yeah, Blam TX, I will check it in a sec. GJ to 193.39, 25.39. Yeah, it looks like it could potentially head that way. Marquez, all good, mate. No problem at all. If you're sticking around, you're more than welcome. I appreciate you for joining the stream. Now, what about you, Jay? So let me check NASDAQ first. I'm gonna check NASDAQ. NQ is the same shit. It's just the minis. It's the same thing. Otherwise, the chart looks identical. I just got NASDAQ here. A bit lazy to check up NQ. So once again, weekly strong bearish. Current weekly lower low, lower high. No need to pull back and break our own high low if we were to continue bearish. So let's just mark that level in. The daily structure. Well, we've got a liquidity candle on that previous daily candle, so that would perhaps suggest we'll grab liquidity from the downside. Not necessarily tapping into much though. And if we were to continue bearish, we'd not much need to break the high of that previous daily candle. If we do so, that possibly could be options to buy it. Structure wise, it's bearish. 4 hour, still also very bearish in structure. Starting to pop back above some support here to the left. Let's mark in this high for the time being. Let's mark in this low for the time being. Oops. And now let's move on to the 30-minute time frame, and that is definitely bullish. So there you go. So you got daily closing back bullish. You've got the 30-minute structure flipping bullish. I'd want to be just above that previous daily high. You've got some resistance a tad higher up. So for me, first of all, continuation buys would be present above 19.35.12. Nice clean candles to the left. The 15 would suffice as well. Not as clean as 15, but if we begin to pop above, close above, retest and pull away, I think that'd be a good option. What else have we got? A little bit tricky at the current level because you're running straight into the resistance and a fire level. Perhaps some potential sells below 19,196.5 roughly. Could be an option to sell from a fire resistance, so just patiently wait for at least a 15-minute to close below that point there. Retest and then it's likely heading back down to 16.10. Cleaner options below that point as well for some further sells. So I mean, that's for me what I'd be looking at. I don't trade this pair or this indice. I do not trade it. But for those who are interested, that is what I personally look at. If I was to analyze as I do GJ or gold, that's what I'd be looking at. Potential rejection of the fire resistance, deeper into the fire resistance. Currently out of fire resistance, but if we pull back up towards the 15-minute level within the fire and reject, then I'd also look for sell options. Could almost get a cheeky early buy in the next 4 minutes too. This closes bullish engulfing. Could be a potential buy option, but I would not touch it this time of day. I don't trust the volume. UJ, let me have a look at UJ. Let's just quickly check gold and GJ. So nothing just yet. Been a cracking few weeks, guys, so don't go anywhere, don't stress it if there's nothing just yet. Yesterday came right near the end, we got a trade. UJ, so weekly weak bullish. We have a lower high, lower low on the current candle, but we are now also pulling back bullish. So if we break our own high, seeing we've got that lower low, lower high, that would suggest maybe we'll grab some more liquidity from the downside in order to push up yet again. Previous weekly rejected resistance here to the left. Daily is technically bearish, it's respecting resistance, similar to GJ though. To Nasdaq, sorry, and GJ for that matter. We've got a long liquidity candle, so long wick to the downside, closing back up near our high. We're beginning to break the high of that previous daily candle. See potential for it to pull back further towards that previous weekly high. 4 hour is also technically bearish in structure. Got the resistance, we're fast approaching yet again. Don't have confirmation of support just yet. That's the 4 hour range. We've got it obviously on a 30, we'll have some levels. Now the 30, you would argue it's technically bullish. So it's the exact same sort of analysis as Nasdaq. Pretty much identical. It's technically bearish, the bias, but with the 30-minute being bullish and that long liquidity wick on a daily closing back bullish, I prefer, well, I could see options for both the buys and sells. Buys are best above 150, 290. Clean traffic to the left above that point there, so just a bit above the daily, previous daily high. Otherwise, I'll be looking for rejection of that level for some options to sell. And we have formed support in a daily candle at previous level here to the left. Possible options either from that level again, if price does pop back down, to form support yet again at that level, and depending on what catalyst you like to see, look for a buy. I know exactly what sort of catalyst I'd like to see. It all depends on your approach. And otherwise, if we pop below that 149.40, there's going to be options to sell below that point there, in my personal opinion. So that is UJ. Once again, hardest part is just waiting. GJ back at support, that's all right. It's at a potential level to start contemplating how to get involved. The gold's also looking interesting. We have tapped into some previous resistance here to the left and bouncing off it. So let's see. I want to see how the 30 closes, because I'm not going to buy it off the back of 1 week bullish candle after the the big volume to the downside of that previous candle. I'm just gonna chill and wait for. Got a few options here. The 15 looks like it is about to close back weak bearish, so therefore what I like to see on the next M15 is a bullish engulfing candle. What that's going to do is close the M30 looking a little bit like so. Just draw it up. Long liquidity wick to the downside, bouncing off resistance here to the left, closing back bullish. Within it, we've got a 15-minute engulfing candle. That to me is a dual catalyst and more than enough confluence is to look for a potential buy to take it towards the highs yet again. So that's something I could potentially be looking at. To my members, I'll let you guys in the chat. Apologies. All right, link's been sent to you guys. More sellers are coming for gold, maybe me high, possibly. TikTok all new, but I think gold reached 51.52. Yeah, look, I said all throughout, we'll look for the quarter numbers, the psychological numbers as targets. I'm very bullish on gold. Nova, look at gold 5-pin. Yeah, it needs to consolidate a bit and then begin to pull away from that for further buy options. Nothing yet for me for anything, to be honest, buys or sells. Oh, Mark, more to you. Marquez, gold 1 hour to 31.120 AT. Back to support, that is possibility for sure. Most recent support formed. Also the current daily low, it's the open. I potentially could do so. M7L, no, what do you see? Yeah, on the 5-minute, I'm not sure as well, to be honest. Monday, 50-minute fair value gap respected. That was the gap you're referring to. I'm not sure. I don't trade fair value gaps. It's just simple price action. I provide my signal as my catalyst at certain levels on the chart. By a bit. I think today probably will play between those two zones. It possibly could. It can't trend forever. And like I've mentioned, from what I've noticed the past 4 days or so, what I've seen on gold chart, the gold chart is Asian sessions where the moves have come, and then throughout London session we have a little bit of consolidation. It tries to drive a bit, but it pops straight back down, closes back down, and then NY it might also make a bit of a move, but for the most part, again, it consolidates a fair bit. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, so don't want us to pump just now, obviously. So it could do so, I just don't have the right confirmation to be buying at the moment. I mean, even off the 5-minute. But a bit. Do we have some high pack news today? Not today, as far as well, actually later on there is US dollar. It's a big week though, a massive week. You've got ADP, unemployment claims, and NFP to follow. So yeah, wow, look at this gold. Just is not occurring well for waiting. TikTok all new. Yeah, tomorrow as well. It's the rest of the week. There's for the US dollar anyway. There's high impact news. Got the Swiss CPI tomorrow, which I doubt, but may impact slightly GJ, the pound pairs, but I don't think I have much of an impact on it. M7L, but it's DCA ByBit it. How's it going, guys? Who's running trades? I'm certain there'll be some of you in some positions as we speak, likely gold buys, or some may have taken some cheeky sells. Sunita Lewis 23, are we buying? Not just yet, but potentially. Need to wait 9.5 minutes. Mihai, Mr. Sell now, it's hard. Next move? No, not necessarily. Could be a buy potentially soon. And personally for me, I didn't miss the sell because I wasn't contemplating a sell. Once again, look at that liquidity candle. You heard it? I swear you probably heard it first on my streams. Sharif, morning to you, buddy. Hope you're well. TikTok all new, but I hold my buy from last Friday. I'll goal reach. Nice one. Nice work. Good work, mate. Happy to hear it. Hopefully you're going to manage your trade in profit, so maybe you're trailing your stop. Yeah, I never buy until liquidity not taken blow. That's fair enough. So you're looking at price pop back down towards 31.22. Just also bear in mind we've actually tapped into some previous resistance here to the left, and we are bouncing off it. So I'm not all that concerned. I could, in fact, the reason why I'm keeping that zone in there is because that's to help me distinguish the structure point where it will flip on if we close below. But I could have easily just drawn in that to see if we're tapped into anything, which I've obviously done so. So I've got to wait just under 7.5 minutes, and if we close as is, need a lower wick. Going to be maybe an issue in regards to stop loss again. So similar to yesterday, I'm going to have to wait to see how the new candle forms. And if it creates a deep enough lower wick, I could potentially use that as my stop loss. That's what I did yesterday, and it worked. Had no drawdown on the entry. Daniel, g'day to you, mate. Have you ever tried trading copper for like less volatility and not getting stopped out with the big wicks like gold? Nah, to be honest, not thought about it, to be honest. I don't feel I'd have the necessary liquidity to trade it the way I trade gold. I could be wrong. It could be the total opposite. I mean, actually, it could be more volatile because it wouldn't take as much to move it. But no, I'm not sure what the spreads are as well, to be honest. I'm happy to stick with gold. ByBit. Yeah, I do use Financial Juice as well. Novet Z-Day height resisting. Oh man, don't just pump now. Please wait a little bit. Mihai, you trade live there in these streams? I do when I see fit, for sure. I mean, every 4 week last week I found a trade on stream. Yesterday I took a trade on stream. They're all wins. It's been I was having a look at the record from the streams. I think I'm the last 9 trades have all been wins on stream, and it was something like 12 or 13 for the last 15, sorry. I think it was 13 for the last 15, so going pretty well. The overall stream record's around 80%. It's 79.7 or something, 79.8. So when I'll trade, I can't tell you. Could have a potential catalyst shortly. TikTok all new. Before I would go in a negative gold, have to fall around 650 pips from now. Yeah, so you're well in profit, exactly. But what I mean is, are you going to trail your stop so you're not going to give back too much of it if it does create a deeper pullback, or are you happy just to hold it? I know you got a target, which is fair enough. This is really looking like it could pump, but I just don't have any catalyst to buy it. Don't even have a 5-minute pause, look for an interruption, play on a 5-minute. I don't have anything. So I just need to chill. Not ruling out a buy, but it will all come down to how the new candle opens and if it gives me a deep enough low wick. The Loki, holy liquidity crap, it definitely is. GJ. Also interesting. Not going up the margin though. No, it's only 8 pips. We really need this sort of candle to form around these lows. So we probably wanted to see another bearish candle, and then for this candle to fall. So if this candle, for instance, closed like so, and then it was to be followed by the way the current candle is forming after wicking some range below, then it'd be a solid buy option because you've got the margin as well. But where it's forming support just now, buy it back above, you've got less than 10 pips to the next level of resistance. So there's nothing for me on GJ, but still focused on gold. It's pumping just now. Will I consider it a limit order? Limit order is a little bit risky trading within the range, unless it's an interruption play, which I don't have that confirmation. Let's just say 36 pips then that level. Where are you located? What time zone? So here in Melbourne, in Oz. So Australian Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, sorry. That changes, this week for us. It's any CC, caught the top, made 400 short on my funding account. I'm done. Nice, good. Nice work. Well done. Just don't give it back. All right, let's see. So potentially the options are buys above or limit order buys. So the limit order buy would be back at a high of that bearish candle, which is 32.79 on IC markets. Have your stop loss a little bit below current candle. That'll be about roughly 32 pips. So that could be one option. But what I'm going to be also looking at is just it all depends on where the new candle, where it pulls back to. If it gives me sufficient enough stop loss to trust, because we've got a nice strong catalyst here, and we could potentially look for buys above on continuation. So in IC markets, that's around 31, 38, 52. I'm not liking how this is pulling back, but I don't want to pull back too far. So we have to travel a distance just to break our own high again. Alright, it's not bad. So your options are potential limit order. First potential option. That's your first potential option. A risky, really risky option will be as it flips. Well, you could layer in, guys. You could even layer in just now if you really want to take a small entry. We've had about 7-8 pips immediately. So I've got limit order in. Now what I might do is I might scale in as it flips. With a stop loss just below the entry candle, just in anticipation we've got the momentum at the moment. This is a really, really risky entry. You're looking at a stop loss of around 20 pips at the moment. I personally am not in the trade. Not just yet anyway. Price that. $31, $36.43. Not being triggered in. It's just using the momentum. It's very, very risky, guys. So it's small position. Just in case it doesn't pull back to trigger me into the limit order. So I've got a couple pips on the table. All right, 4, 5 pips. Let's pop up a little bit higher. Here we go. And about 6.5. Nice one. All right, there's 8. Going to break even. Here we go. I'm going to close half. Just to secure something, get to break even, and let the rest run. You had about 9.5, 10 pips. Now I'm going to remove the limit order. It's just trying to find a way in, guys, because I didn't want to miss a potential entry, but I didn't want to get necessarily in on the break of the high. So So I'd prefer to get in a little bit prior to that if I could. So I've managed to do so. So I've removed the limit order. And it's a little bit riskier, this entry, because you're not yet broken the previous counter's high. So you don't have counter probabilities yet to the upside. But you're basing it off the back of the momentum and the strength of that catalyst candle. So it's pushing really nicely down. You got about 11.5, 12 pips on the table. Nicely done. Good work. Nice quick win. Just want to... I always journal every trade for my team, and I go into full detailed explanation as to why I took it. Result, win, lose, or draw. And job done. All right. What have I missed? Anyone on YouTube, anyone grab it? Oh. Yeah, I've been taken out. All right, it's done. So just a quick one, just a small little win, but nonetheless, win's a win. Thank you for the sticker. What have I missed on TikTok? I'm in ByBit. I am in EU trading only London at NY session. Okay, fair enough. Only trading only London and NY session. That's fair enough. Yep, plenty of volume, obviously. TikTok all noob in a 30-minute time frame. We have now 2 bullish triangles with a maximum top. Gold will go to 31.97. Let's see if gold will take it. Interesting. I'm being honest, I have no idea what bullish triangles are. But there is no right or wrong. It's just whatever works for you guys and for me and for you. So I'm not going to knock your theory. And you could be, definitely could be right. You could also be wrong. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But I agree. I believe gold will continue up as well. Zeki Zabi. Oh, it was in a quick buy. Yeah, just a small quick scalp was a nice little quick win. Forex free signals. Which time frame do you recommend for short trading? With the name Forex free signals, I would have thought you'd know that, to be honest. But all good. Look, it depends. Some, can profit off the 5-minute. I prefer the 15 and 30 on gold, especially the 15. ByBit tip: if the Asia session has a solid move, then London will be yeah, it generally has happened. It's something I've definitely noticed of late. NY likely will trend again, but there's a lot of news impacting NY session regularly, so sometimes it will whipsaw about. Down the market, I believe, is coming back down before flying in. Could potentially do so. So if that's your belief, then you've got to wait for your triggers and your catalysts to look for options to get involved in sells, if that's the case. Splash Fonton is a good idea to sell at resistance 31.45. Look, it could potentially be an option, but I would prefer to wait for cleaner options and to trade in line with the trend. So I'd rather buy it. See how this 15-minute closes on gold. So I'm happy with my trade management, because had I not secured and not got to break even, I would be now in drawdown. So it's just the way I go about things. It's what works for me. Lala, same. Bruman, I'm in a buy right now, 31.50 TP. Nice one. It's a relevant TP. $31.26.12. Nice one. All right. anyone on YouTube get involved in the cheeky little gold buy. It's the way gold's been moving of late. You've really got to be paying attention. ByBit, all good, mate. You take care. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it, and good luck with your trades as well. Paul, no. Carl, no. Franco, all good. It was definitely a risky entry because look what we've done. We've since rejected. Looks like we just broke the high and since rejected. That's why I wanted to get involved a little bit before it, to be honest, as opposed to waiting for us to travel from the open some almost 20, would have been 20 pips just to get triggered in. So I'm really happy that using the momentum and the strong catalyst of the previous candle, I feel is a pretty relevant way to get involved early. Definitely risky, but still a high probable risk in my opinion. Every trade's a risk. That's the fact of the matter. Want to be trading in line with probabilities, and in my opinion that was a more probable little quick scalp than not, so I took the risk. Nothing on GJ. Once again, thank you to all new followers on TikTok. Appreciate it. Boom, basically just saw the break of structure on a 15-minute, and then it broke structure on 1 hour. So you entered. Are you talking about from around here? Yeah, I see what you mean. It's not, the way I see it, it's not breaking structure. It's continuing in line with the trend, which was bullish, but it's creating a high, so it's creating another impulse. So I think it's a definitely good area to get involved in the trade. So well done. You'll wait till bottom before buying at 31.42. Dan J. Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure why 31.42 as far as the buy, to be honest. Buying into resistance, but I mean, it could happen. Who knows? Nova? No, it's definitely not. As much as you might think it is, it's definitely not. Definitely not. I have some really strict rules I follow, and yeah, I'm nowhere near as impulsive. This trade was different, but I had a reason to be. When we're in a massive uptrend on gold, we had a nice strong catalyst. But if you watch and pay attention, I've got a lot more tricks in my box of goodies than what he will. Much more. All the limit orders, the interruption play, which you probably have heard it first here. Liquidity candle plays, which if we were at a key level, I would have looked to sell gold based off this candle. Broke the high, had no need at all whatsoever to break the low, seeing it already broke the high. And if it did break the low, how often do you hear me say it? It'll likely make a move, and what did it do today? Check that theory out. So I've got a lot more tricks than what he may have, but not knocking him because he's done really well for himself. Respect the guy, but definitely not the same trader. KJ waiting for buy 31.22. That's not a bad option. If that's your plan, and just be patient and yeah, wait to see if price gets to that point for your option to buy it. Bruin, I personally think it was a valid break of structure in a way, kind of just confirmed the uptrend. Yeah, I see what you mean, man. I totally get it. Totally get it. And again, everyone has different meanings and definitions of, you know, how to determine structure and things like that. So I see it as a continuation. I understand why you see it as a break. And essentially it's the same thing, to be honest, but I respect it. Offline, look at GJ, yeah, it's just consolidating. So the win streak continues. I think that's now 10 in a row on stream. Franco, no, I've not. I will have a look at that now for you. Let's interesting. We had a look at something yesterday on the members education call, and look at that, Franco. That would have hit TP without any drawdown whatsoever. Literally tap back in, limit order, and end up hitting full TP before it bounced off the support again. Crazy. Good to see. All right, so let's take a look at GU. So the weekly, very choppy on the weekly. Inside bar candle, very difficult to know what to make of it on that time frame, to be honest. The daily, quite evident we are just consolidating technically in a downtrend on a daily. It may look bullish, I understand. You're probably saying, why am I calling it downtrend? What the reason why I'm referring to it is in a downtrend at the moment is because the high of the impulse was here. The origin of the impulse was this 2 consecutive candle pullback just here. We've closed below that point there. So the way I see it, flip structure. I know we've bounced off support here to the left. So it doesn't mean it's easy selling into it. Below it's much cleaner. But anyway, general direction would suggest to me we are bearish on that time frame. The 4 hour was a bit tricky from memory. Low, yeah, it's still technically bearish as well. Oops. So we got weekly is technically bullish, daily bearish, 4 hour bearish. Resistance, just marking in here. This is the most recent support. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame, and that is also bearish. So it's based off that, I've got bearish daily, bearish 4 hour, bearish 30, bullish, actually bullish 30. I take that, no, sorry. It is bearish, it's close below this swing point. So the bias is bearish. We are at some support. Let's go into the 15. All right, I'd be drawing that level in. It's a little bit choppy in the 15, in all honesty. But Franco, you and I both know, if you're willing to trust it off the back of the 30 and purely trade off that, there's nothing wrong with that. So if this candle does confirm support, I've prematurely drawn it in. But if it does confirm support, be waiting for the next candle to potentially close below, retest, and pull away. Yeah, that's what I prefer. Otherwise, let it pull back up. I mean, buyers, you could potentially be looking at some possible buys, be against the structure, but you may have a bullish engulfing candle on 30 just here. You've got a clean move down. Prior to it, a relatively clean move up. So we're respecting the daily low, the support formed at that level. So we've got some support here. So potential buy shortly on GU4, maybe for London Open. Further options above this 15-minute and 30-minute resistance, 129.410, and also further options to sell it for dip reject in line with the actual bias, which is at this point bearish. Very clean as well below 129.05, but you need to consider 129 flat as well. GJ pumping. All right, let's keep an eye on GJ for session open. Let's also see how gold closes, if there is any possible re-entries on gold. Franco, yes, great call yesterday. Yep. Yeah, would have been a cracking entry on GU. All good, mate. All good. All right, what have I missed on TikTok? TKG detailing, is gold going to continue to downside? In my personal opinion, I don't see any reasons that would suggest that it's going to push down. I'm still very heavily in favor of the buys. And like I mentioned at the beginning, when I did the analysis, the proper full rundown on gold, top down. If we flip the 30-minute structure bearish, which won't be confirmed until closures below 31.20, then maybe we might make a deeper pullback. But until that happens, I'm just focused on buying it, to be honest. Now, what are we seeing happen right now, guys? This is eerily similar to yesterday, the trade we took. Eerily similar, which was just here. Similar formation. Perhaps a weak bearish close. Same thing will apply though. We need to wait for the new London Open candles to create a decent low wick. Because the issue is, once again, will be potential stop loss. It's going to be way too wide off the back of this candle. So for this to be valid, first of all, I need it to close weak bearish. If it closes as is just now, there is no confirmation whatsoever for me to sell it, to buy it, sorry. Not interested in selling it, and there will be no confirmation for me to buy it. Could use the FIP. Yeah, look, the preference is 38.2. That's a quality entry. According to my rules, the data I've collected over the years, if it closed above that point there, that is a really strong valid entry. If it closes above the 50, it's also valid, but it's just not as probable. But we'll see. So let's mark in a 50 as well. Because that will give us the signal that we may have that we've got a valid entry. So that's the 50, and that's the 0.38. So and that's the way I use the fib. I use it very differently to the way others use it. GJ, are we at a solid 4-hour resistance? Not quite. Contemplating potential impulse sells. I'm not gonna take it. All right, just under 7 minutes until the session open. What have I missed on TikTok? Amir, gold looking juicy. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, see it's popping back up just now, my MetaTrader. So yeah, looking like we might be able to get involved again. Ruben, do you think trading becomes easier the more you put it in simple terms instead of complex strategy? Yeah, look, I think so. Some people might think the way I go about it is complex. I think it's very simple. Yeah, for sure it does. So I think it's a lot more simple just looking at, you know, naked charts, candles, that's it, without all the indicators and all that. Dan, breaker structure to me. Oh, good. That's fine, guys. I'm not arguing. Once again, I'm not arguing. We all have different opinions of things. I don't see it as breaker structure. I see it as a continuation of the structure. So irrespective, we obviously both see it bullish. I see the breaker structure once we close below. So you're not breaking any structure if you're already in an uptrend, if that makes sense. You're just continuing on with the structure. So again, it's just a slight difference in opinion, but there's no right or wrong. $72. Yeah, I think you mentioned that yesterday. Good work. Wow, look at the volume on gold. That's just flip back bearish. TikTok all noob. Did anyone know what is with the fair value up 29.56? No idea, mate. Once again, I don't trade FEGs. Kojo, yes, buy real entry. Yeah, definitely preference of the buy. Iblumio TX, do you think NQ gonna touch and dump at London session? Touch of resistance and dump. I'd have no confirmation to sell it just yet, so yeah, look, there's nothing to suggest it will. I wouldn't sell it just off the back of that. You got quite a lot of volume approaching the resistance, so for me, nothing to suggest it's going to dump. Kojo, yeah, could do so. Anthony, do you ever lose? Of course I do. I go on winning streaks. I have an occasional losing streak, but luckily for me, the losing streak tends to be no more than 2 or 3 trades in a row. I just follow a simple process that has worked well for me. You know, it's tested a standard. It's proven to work over a given period of time. Quite a long period of time now, around 3 to 4 years. I just continue to do it on the daily. But of course I lose. Everyone loses, and if they say otherwise, run for the mountains, guys. They're full of shit. Mihai, you're in long right now. Nice one. All right. Lala, agree. All good. I wish you guys all the best, and I hope it goes well for you. Very well unknown. The candle going up. Right now it's retracing. We'll see. Yazy trades. Do you have videos on how you draw out level zones? What do you? I'm sure I have on YouTube. Do I? I've definitely got it with my group. I've got the full course for those guys. I'm not sure. I have to look at it. Just go through my videos on the channel. If not, that's something for me to obviously to do in the future. So yeah, so I'll definitely consider that. Thank you for bringing that up. What confirmations am I looking for on gold? So right now, if I was to look for buys at London Open, first of all, I want this count close back weak bearish, because that would suggest to me that first of all, it bounced off a previous level of liquidity to the downside after retesting. Not only that, we've formed a minor resistance after bouncing off. If we were to continue now bearish, there is no real need for us to pop back up and break that resistance. So as long as we respect it, we're likely going to head back down to support yet again. And if we begin to break it, I feel there's a higher probability that we could make the move back towards the upside. For that to be valid, I want it, and how I determine it to be a valid weak bearish candle, we've got 2 levels here. One is the 0.382 from bottom to top. If it closes above there, then it's definitely a solid valid entry. Even if it closes bullish, it would suggest we grab liquidity from the downside, and it's still a very good option to buy it. We'll have a 15-minute resistance, so it'll be on the break of that. If it closes above the 50, it's not as strong confirmation, but it's still valid, it will all come back down to the entry candle at that point. The way we're closing just now means there's likely no entry, because it's just too strong of a bearish candle for me to take the impulse. That's, again, following simple rules. Wow, DJ's tapped into 50% in that zone and dying. Not really dying, but it's dropped about 15 pips. J go along, but definitely get resisted from indicators it's pointing down. Okay, fair enough. So we're not going to close above the 0.382. There is nothing just yet for me on gold. Again, thank you to all the new followers. So it's already been a successful stream. Quick little win on gold before. Now we're at session open, so there's no valid buy right now. Closed below both those levels. GJ has made the move to the upside and tapped into a target. There is nothing valid on GJ at the moment. If this was from support, I'd be buying it right now in anticipation is likely and a very high probability that it could bounce off the support, create the upper wick. But we're at the resistance, so I'm not gonna buy it because it could just reject. And we've tapped into it in the previous candle, and a lot of momentum now in the candle itself, so it may not necessarily pop back up to create the upper wick. But if this was to happen at this level, I would definitely be looking for a buy option at the moment. Ottoman 3200, that is definitely on the cards. I'm not going to say it won't hit it. I'm not going to say it will hit it. Because once again, I don't trade on what I think. I trade on what I see. I wait for the right confirmations and then I react. Pezza, what's everyone's profits for March? 12 million? Dreaming. No Tadzi? Or not Tadzi? What's your setups, time frames you trade with? And there's plenty as far as setups. I mean, the main time frames, GJ, it's mainly 30. And I look at 3 other time frames to determine a preferred direction, and just to get an overall general indication of the direction we're heading in. So the higher time frames, I will look at the 15 gold, starting at the higher time frames, but focus more on 30, 15, and also look at 5 minute on gold. Don't go lower than that. Brewman? No, never heard of him. KJ, gold is trapping buyers. Yeah, possibly. Could be trapping sellers at the same time. Just not moving at the moment. Yeah, very flat at the open gold. It's right at this candle's open again. London open candle, open. No name, thoughts on GJ? Just consolidate. Just in consolidation below 4-hour resistance. So for me, there's current level, it's very tricky. Especially on a 30. Just pure consolidation. So based on that, at this rate, you're likely looking for trade to either side of either the 30-minute support or the 4-hour resistance. But there is nothing wrong in this situation, as hard as it might be, and most won't be able to sit and wait for this to happen, but there is nothing wrong with letting it either do this, create a nice clean move down. Don't get involved here because it could reject like it's done multiple times at this level. Let it create the move, then wait for it to pull back, clean pullback, rejection for a sell. Or vice versa, let it make a clean move, cut through resistance, pull back, form support, and look for options to buy it. Aside from that, the only thing I would consider within the current range is if we maybe pop up, then make a not getting involved in the sell because it's just selling it into consolidation, waiting for it to make a clean move down, look for a potential signal from this support, or once again wait for it to create a clean move up, and then we're starting to trend within the actual range itself, then wait for a signal to sell it from the highs. Because at that point we've cut through the clutter and we've opened up this range to more probable entries yet again. So that's the reality of GJ currently, the way it stands, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's a bit of a write-off at the moment. But it's all good. I already had a quick scalp on gold. Continuing on the merry way, it's been a fantastic, it was a really good March and great start to the new month as well. All good, mate. All good. Pleasure as always. Thank you for joining as always. To my team, I will be on with you guys for pre-NY later as well. We had a really good education session yesterday, about an hour after the stream, an hour and a half. We did some market analysis as well. It was a good session. Went over a few entries and things like that. Called a really nice one on GU. Let's just do the rounds. Let's have a quick look. Market open. What do we got? EU. A little bit tricky. EU, though, you had your bullish engulfing candle from support. It's against the 30-minute structure, by the looks of it. Or is it? No, it's still bullish. Believe it or not. This is the highest point of the uptrend. We have not closed above it to create a high. We've popped above it, but rejected. So therefore, anything in between, we're technically bullish in structure the way I see it. So the issue with this, you've got a bullish engulfing candle, but there's one issue, in my opinion. It's not quite tapped into support to be bouncing. I'm not sure why at that point if you formed a nice strong bullish engulfing candle. My concern would be that still potentially come back down to grab a little bit more liquidity around at 107,920 before it heads back up. But you do have a pretty nice catalyst. The other issue is it's pulled back quite significantly at the open. I don't like necessarily the look of the candle if it began to flip and break above the previous candle's high. I would prefer for it to create a small low wick and then begin to break the high. That's just personal preference. It's, you got to be comfortable in the trades you take, and I would be comfortable if that would have happened. Otherwise, looking for it to pop up, reject 108 to 70 to 300 for potential sells. No buys above it, you're buying it into resistance. And for some further potential sells below 107.830. AU, don't want to look at that. Refuse to trade. Euro CAD. Bearish on the 30, but it looks like it may be in a bit of an uptrend. Weekly is bullish, and you are engulfing the previous candle. Daily structure is bullish, like in the low and high of the day. Like the options either side of that. H4 is also bullish. M30 was bearish. Yeah, so buys and both buy and sell options would be potentially present on EuroCAD. And I would say if it does respect this 105.40, I'd prefer to buy it. If it starts to pop below it, there's your option to sell it. Otherwise, buys above the high. Pretty simple. BJ, yeah, it doesn't look good. Similar to GJ. EA, similar to EuroCAD. Actually looks the same. GCAD, nothing there. So gold, we've got a lower high, lower low. So we created an upper wick and now broke low the previous candle. Let's see if we do pop above it. Now, for me to get involved in any trades, I really want to see a nice strong closure on this M15. Preferably above the body of this bearish candle to the left. FX Ioni. On gold, it's mainly a 15, 30, 15. High. Fair enough. Boomin. Look, still very bullish. So, I mean, it could continue up just now. Have to wait and see. Thank you for sharing the live. Let's see where this 15-minute closes. Alright, let's see. What would stop loss be? Just depends. If you're getting involved above the high, stop loss is out of this world again. For a little scalp, you're looking at 70 pips roughly. Just not worth it. So it's likely going to come down once again to the formation of the next candle, lower wick, and whether or not you want to take a slightly early entry above what I determine to be the catalyst candle high, which is this one potentially. Remember, it has to close above the body. If that is to be the case, there potentially could be entries as it breaks this candle's high in anticipation. That's the early entry yet again. But as opposed to waiting for it to pop up 16 pips just to trigger you in, you're taking that early entry in anticipation. It's going to tap into that level and potentially break it. But in the next minute and 20 seconds, I want it to close above this horizontal. If it does so, there could be a valid trade. If not, no trade at the moment. D-Dads can go up to 31.80, 32. Yes, potentially could. Bettina, learning for us myself. Nice one. Definitely in the right place to learn. watch me on the daily, you'll learn a lot, especially about patience and discipline, how rewarding it can be. So I set clear rules for every entry, and you guys see that's the rule I want to tick off just now if I am to take a trade on the next candle. Once again, I've already had one small win, so there's no need to force anything. Let's see, it's close to it. All right, maybe closing above. Comes down now to the low wick formation of the new candle. This could be a really quick one again. So the high of the previous candle, and we're breaking it just now. No entry without low wick. So the high of the current candle, 36.8. Well, it's popping up now. There is no entry without low wick, guys. I'm sorry, I need to wait for it to create a decent low wick. High is 31.3702, so 31.3722 roughly. Still not enough of a low wick, I don't think. What would stop loss be based on that? It's just not enough. 11 pip stop, 10 pip stop is not comfortable enough with that, because it could trigger you in and flip and drop straight back down. There is so much volume on gold, I'd rather not risk it. But that's what you could be looking at. I'm gonna, again, I've already taken a win, so I'm gonna avoid it if this is to be the lowest point. If it pulls back again and creates a bit more of a lower wick, then I reckon I'll set the buy stop back above this candle's high. I'm just chilling and waiting to see if it creates a bit more of a lower wick. What platform do I use? This is TradingView, so it's gone, guys. It's popping above. Bruno? Oh, wow. Well, nice surprise. So Bruno, one of the members, forgot he had the buy limit, which I mentioned earlier. It's set at 31.32 and he's up 40 pips. Nice work, mate. Job done. Yeah, a little bit of drawdown, but nothing huge, so nice work. Yeah, so it's popped up a little bit quicker than what I would have liked, guys. So it's all good. All good. I stuck to my rule. I already had a win, so no need to force anything. If anyone is in it, got a very tight stop loss, so just be careful, because gold could easily still pull back, or, you know, heading back up just to grab some more liquidity. If not, and you are in it, maybe give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, look at that now. Wow. All good. Oh, GJ rejecting too. How is the volume right now? Wow. There we go, gold coming back. So that's why I wasn't comfortable taking it, because there's always that chance it could do this. Brimman, that is definitely the best option. I'm talking about the 30-minute now. 100%. 100% that is the best option. D-Dads, what's GJ? Pound yen. Great. British pound, Japanese yen. Wow, there's a lot of volume on that just now as well. It's rejecting at the moment. So again, guys, this is just time on the charts, seeing this sort of shit play out regularly, and that's why I didn't want to take this entry, because there's always that chance, in my opinion, that it was going to still pull back a bit more to create more of a lower wick. So in my opinion, the best option would be to wait for a 30 closure. And you really like it for its close. Preference would be for it to be engulfing. But if it closed up near the high, that would also be a pretty nice closure. Even if it was to flip just now. Yeah, about 30 pips, not too bad, but not trusting it anymore. Am I looking for longs in gold right now? Not just now. I was before, but I wasn't comfortable with the low wick on this candle. And it's already pushed up about 10 pips, I think, before rejecting. So now I've got to get in higher up. And again, I've got a pretty low stop loss. So it's just not worth it for me right now. Yep. Currently, based off the entry count, I'm looking at about 40 pips for a stop. Yeah, it's continuing down. So there's nothing just yet. Yeah, potentially. So the platform this is TradingView. I find it so much easier to chart on than MetaTrader is where I execute the trades. TradingView is just much easier to for stream purposes. NQ. So let's look at NAS again. All right. So you may have a catalyst shortly on the closure of this M30 potentially. What I'm seeing is the 15 is currently rejecting. What we may have is either a weak bullish candle leaving a long upward into the resistance. Based on that, if the new candle was to create an upper wick and begin to reject, I would see that as a valid entry for some potential shorts on NASDAQ. Now, if this closed back bearish engulfing on the 15, even stronger confirmation. You're at resistance. It's rejected this level multiple times. But once again, personally for me, I wouldn't trade at this time of day. But I do like the look of it now for some options potentially to sell. Look at that rejection on gold. Gold will still sell to 31.26. Okay, Joe. There is a good chance that it could come back down to it for sure. XAUUSD. You're looking to buy or sell gold? Preferring to buy it for sure. The Loki. BTC, I'll have a look in a sec. Franco is asking about EU. I said 15 closed back. Wow. And it looks like it popped up and popped straight back down, similar to gold. Ooh. Yeah, I can see what you mean. It would have looked like a decent entry. But bear in mind, it is technically counter trend. BTC. Yeah, it's at resistance, so it'd be tough buying it into it. And it's a 4-hour level as well. The 4-hour structure is bearish. Weekly is bearish. Candles. Daily. Potential reversal signal on the daily. Broke the high of that previous daily. Daily, I look at the structure, but I'm probably more concerned by, first of all, where we're at and how the candle is forming and how the previous candle closed. So based off that, we did form support at previous support. We begin to break the high of that candle. I see it, a good chance that it could potentially pop up further towards that 87.50. 4-hour. Once again, it's bearish. Like I mentioned before, you got some resistance just above the previous daily high. So that's a level it needs to pop above. That is at this rate. No, it's closures above this swing point. It's going to flip the structure, actually. So it's pretty much at the level. Closed above, it will begin to flip the structure on the 4-hour. Otherwise, we are at resistance. I prefer to sell from resistance. The 30-minute is bullish, but once again we're at a level of resistance. So for me, options will be to look for price action signals from the current level for a sell. We had similar here, a bit of consolidation, minor support form below previous support just here, weak bullish candle. That's a really solid signal to sell on the break of that candle. We had similar form again, that'd be an option. Also got some support formed at this current level, and if price was to begin to pop below it, 82.90 roughly, and there's a good chance of coming back down towards 82.30 for some potential sells. And that's pretty much it. Buys from support, and maybe further buys above 80, above the previous daily high. It's a solid resistance, so be very careful. All right, let's see. Gold has to close again above that level. The likely nice sell if resistance holds again. Sold off the exact level yesterday. Nice, yeah, definitely good level to get involved for sure. I mean, you could have a catalyst in the next 4 minutes. Bearish engulfing 15, closing the M30, strong bearish. Tap in, that could be a single counter catalyst. Yeah, in the hourly, but the hourly you've got 33 minutes to wait for the confirmation. YouTube guys, what can we do? Almost thrown the kitchen sink into trying to get more onto that stream, and it doesn't seem to work. Even though the win record I feel is probably better than anyone else trading at this time of day on YouTube. Anyway. Daniel, sometimes you gotta stir the pot a bit, don't you? Yeah, GJ has to close below because it's just coming from consolidation. There is not much there to confirm a solid sell option. Gold is just not going to give us the buy. Not interested in selling it. Yeah, I'm not prepared to sit around for another 30 minutes to wait, to be honest, because I'm going to go have some dinner. Clocks will change next week here in South East, or Oz, obviously. Daylight savings time will end, but us here in Melbourne, Sydney, and Tasmania, Hobart. So that means I can perhaps stay on a bit longer too. These streams will be an hour earlier for me. But anyway, to wrap things up, guys, what I've been looking at gold, the potential entry point is still this level now for me, unless we pull back a little bit deeper and we see a signal within price action from either level A here at 31.28 or lower down at 31.22. Be looking for the right signal within price action to buy from lower down, or seeing this in the most recent resistance formed on the retrace from the all-time high on the pullback. If we were to break and close above it, preferably the closure above it on at least 15. But look, if we approach in the right manner, I would consider the impulse entry. What I deem to be the right manner would be something like this: really strong candle closing in the top half of this zone, wait for the new candle to create a low wick. So if it pops straight up, I would not buy it until it pops back down to create a slow wick. And as soon as it does that, I'm seeing my buy stop back above that candle's high. Further options above the all-time high, I would still not be interested in selling it just yet. May contemplate it with the team later on, but for now, preference would be to wait for it to flip the structure bearish, which we won't get until we have the confirmation and closure below 31.20, the way I see it anyway. So that is the gold. Now quickly having a look at GJ. Yeah, so it's still in consolidation, nothing for me just yet. Likelihood on GJ is you're not going to have the margin to sell it down to this support, even if it does close below on the next candle. So like I mentioned before, let it create some clean moves, pull back for sells, clean move up, same thing to the upside, clean move up, pull back for buys, or otherwise let it cut through the mess within the current area, form a nice clean move up, reject, possible sells back down, or nice clean move down, reject, possible buys back up. Right now it's just not tradable in my opinion. I'd stay well away from it. So that is all, guys. Well done today. One little win on gold and win streak extends, so we're doing well. Guys, appreciate the support as always. Should be on tomorrow. I am very busy during the day, but I should be right to stream either way. But I will likely catch you there. Cheers, guys. Take care. Have a good one. TikTok, thank you one and all for joining. Thank you to all new followers. Goodbye to you guys. And YouTube, once again, appreciate the same team as always. Daniel, maybe that's it. Sketchmas, ever thought about doing promotions? Yeah. I'm not that fussed, to be honest. I'm here because I enjoy streaming. I enjoy, you know, being part of the community, helping people out as well. Yeah, not that fussed. I mean, I've tried pretty much everything, but it's all good. Franco, yes, I will see you later on for the pre-M live stream. Paul, appreciate you as always. YouTube, thank you to you guys. Take care. Have a good day. Don't do anything stupid. And I'll catch you guys likely tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Take care.